RHOC Bravo torn on firing Alexis Bellino. Bravo is allegedly torn on whether or not to fire Alexis Bellino from RHOC after her first season back in a decade. She was a full-time housewife from seasons 5 through 8 and then was gone. Alexis returned for season 18, which was a controversial decision, and now the network does not know what is next. Keep reading to see what will affect their decision. Bravo torn on firing Alexis Bellino. When it came out that Alexis Bellino was dating RHOC star Shannon Beater's ex-boyfriend, John Jensen, it was a big shock. How and why did this happen? More so, Alexis had reconciled with her former OC co-star, Tamra Judge, who was now at odds with Shannon. Finally, Shannon was coming off of a DUI arrest for a hit and run, so there was a lot to unpack in these relationships. It was soon announced that Alexis would return to the hit Bravo reality series for season 18 as a friend. She had appeared on the show for 4 seasons, but left after season 8. This was very controversial because she and Shannon would come face to face. Some fans thought it was a cruel move by Bravo to kick Shannon when she was already down. Ultimately, Alexis spent most of the season defending John Jansen, aka Johnny J. She, then shared he had footage of Shannon nearly running over his daughter. It felt like a blackmail attempt which infuriated viewers and fans wanted her gone. Recently, Alexis Bellino and John Jansen were at an Us Weekly event where they explained they were tired of being the villains. Furthermore, Alexis said the season was over and she was done. Her focus was on the wedding now that she and John are engaged, so it looked like she was leaving RHOC. However, no decisions have been made, and according to Monsters and Critics, Bravo is weighing its options. Per an insider, unfortunately, filming between Shannon and Alexis likely won't go over well. Recently, Teddy Mellencamp and Erica Jane did a recap of RHOC on Two Teeth in a Pod. That is Teddy and Tamra Judge's podcast, but the latter sits it out during OC season for obvious reasons. In the comment section from a clip, Alexis noted that her whole side was not shown. Fans did not care and went right in on her. For the sake of RHOC, please let Alexis exit stage left. She has no purpose or storyline besides John and Shannon's breakup. At Alexis_Bellino, if you have to talk this much, it's your issue. Go away. No one likes you, mean girl. Do us a favor and go away. You are the worst return housewife ever. We're so sick of you and John. The insider did note people want Alexis to return because she is allegedly quite easy to work with. However, is that enough for her to stick around for another season? More so, would she want to if she and John constantly get slammed every week? Bravo executives were gathered in their sleek Manhattan boardroom, the skyline shimmering in the background. The topic on the agenda was a heated one. Alexis Bellino, a former star of The Real Housewives of Orange County, RHOC. While her time on the show had ended years ago, whispers of a possible return had ignited both excitement and controversy among the network's decision-makers. Would bringing Alexis back invigorate the franchise, or would it be a disastrous misstep? The fans are divided, said Maria, a senior executive, scrolling through a tablet filled with social media reactions. Half of them want her back. They're nostalgic for the drama she brought. The other half, well, they're calling her outdated and irrelevant. Jeff, the head of programming, leaned back in his chair. Outdated? Alexis was the quintessential Orange County housewife. The glitz, the glam, the unapologetic opulence. She's a walking time capsule of what made the show iconic in its early seasons. She's also a liability, Maria countered. Do I need to remind you about the Jesus Jug scandal? The backlash from the religious community? The legal issues with her ex-husband? If we bring her back, we're reopening all of that. But isn't that what the audience wants? Chimed in Dylan, a junior producer with a knack for viral moments. Controversy equals ratings. People love a redemption arc. If we market her as a woman who's moved past the drama and reinvented herself, it could be TV gold. Jeff raised an eyebrow. Is that how she sees herself, though? Alexis has never been one to shy away from drama. She thrives in it. Exactly, Dylan pressed. Which is why we need her. Moriosi has been struggling. The new cast members haven't clicked with the audience the way we hoped. We need someone who can bring that old school energy back. Maria sighed, setting her tablet down. Even if we agree to bring her back, how do we fit her into the current dynamic? She's been out of the loop for years. The other women, Gina, Heather, Emily, they are in a completely different place. How do we avoid it feeling forced? Forced is fine, Jeff said, his voice firm. This is reality TV. We manufacture conflict for a living. Put Alexis in a room with Heather Dubrow and watch the fireworks. They're polar opposites. Heather's all about sophistication and control. Alexis is, well, Alexis. Maria's eyes narrowed. You're banking on Heather agreeing to that. She's not exactly thrilled about sharing the spotlight, especially with someone she doesn't respect. Which is exactly why it'll work, Jeff replied with a smirk. We don't need them to be friends. We need tension. And let's not forget Alexis has connections to Tamra. They were frenemies back in the day. Imagine the alliances and betrayals we can build around that. Speaking of Tamra, Maria said, tapping her pen against the table. She's already stirring the pot on social media. She's been vague posting about old flames reigniting. If Alexis comes back, we need to be prepared for Tamra to run wild. Let her, Dylan said eagerly. The messier, the better. That's what the audience tunes in for. The room fell silent for a moment, the weight of the decision settling over them. On one hand, Alexa's return could be a masterstroke, a way to recapture the show's early magic and re-engage lapsed viewers. On the other hand, it was a gamble that could alienate loyal fans who had moved on from the franchise's old-school drama. What about Alexis herself? Maria finally asked. Have we gauged her interest? She's interested, Jeff confirmed. Her reps reached out a few months ago. She's remarried, she's got a new business, and she's eager to show the world how much she's grown. Maria raised an eyebrow. Grown or eager to stay relevant? Doesn't matter, Dylan shot back. If she's willing to bring the drama, that's all we need. The door to the boardroom opened, and a production assistant entered with a stack of papers. Here's the latest audience analytics, she said, placing the documents in front of Jeff. He flipped through them, his expression growing more serious with each page. RHOC's viewership is down 12% from last season, he said, addressing the room. If we don't do something bold, we're in danger of losing our spot as Bravo's flagship franchise. Alexis might be the shot in the arm we need. Maria leaned back in her chair, crossing her arms. Bold can backfire. If Alexis doesn't connect with the audience, or worse, if she reignites old controversies, we'll be the ones taking the heat. Then we'll handle it, Jeff said firmly. We've weathered storms before. The key is controlling the narrative. If we spin this as a comeback story, a second chance for Alexis to redefine herself, we'll have the upper hand. Dylan nodded. We could do a whole marketing campaign around it. From Jesus Jugs to Boss Babe. The Alexis Bellino journey. People love a rebrand. Maria chuckled despite herself. I'll admit it has a certain ring to it. Jeff glanced around the table, his gaze sharp. All right, let's put it to a vote. Do we bring Alexis Bellino back to RHOC? One by one, The executives cast their votes. Dylan was an enthusiastic yes, while Maria hesitated before reluctantly agreeing. By the time the last vote was counted, the decision was clear. Jeff smiled, satisfied. Looks like Alexis is getting her second act. Let's make it count. As the meeting adjourned, the room buzzed with renewed energy. The stakes were high, but so was the potential payoff. Alexis Bellino, love her or loathe her, was coming back to Orange County, and the Bravo universe would never be the same.